Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whalenerds podcast. This is episode 11, and I'm here with Eric and Katlyn.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Slater, and we're being Whalenerds.
Yay, nerds.
We went and did a nerdy thing last week. Eric and I did.
What nerdy thing did we do?
We went to a talk by Ray Troll about fossils, because apparently that's a thing now for whale nerds. And Ray Troll is actually an artist, so he teamed up with a paleontologist from the Smithsonian, and they did an adventure down the California coast, well, really the whole West Coast, looking for fossils and just writing about their whole adventure. And then Ray illustrated the whole thing, so he had a really cool book, and it was a Friends of Hopkins event over at Hopkins Marine Station. So
Where was I that night?
I don't know. Where were you? We called you.
We told you about it.
I was just hungry.
They had snacks there.
No, that's why I didn't
No,
go.
they didn't
I
have
asked
snacks.
Caitlin if I could bring snacks,
earlier.
and she said no.
For the members, they had
Oh, yeah, but we
snacks.
aren't members.
Yeah, I'm
Not
not a member.
members.
Yeah, we're not Friends of Hopkins members.
I don't know how we're not.
If I had some spare
Don't you know
change,
people
I
that
would
work
do
there?
it. Yeah, but you gotta pay money to be a friend of Hopkins.
Do you
I mean,
really?
I'm friends of people that work at Hopkins.
I don't pay for my friends.
In real life, you gotta pay for your friends, otherwise.
Those are not friends, Caitlin. Those are business people.
Those are fake friends.
Fake friends. Darn it. So it was pretty fun. Ray's a really cool dude. He's just like totally a hippie, and it's really fun to listen to him talk about
They're still
dinosaurs.
Our friends at Hopkins.
And his drawings for the like tree of life are really neat. I really liked all of those that he was talking about. He has like actual trees, and then the branches are related to how closely related each part of the tree
It's really
is.
easy to understand. In fact, I thought of you, Slater, because you were so fascinated with Pachycetus and all that stuff. So it's really visually.
Did he paint Pachycetus?
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got the book. I'll show it to you later. I just realized that I should show it to you.
Painted?
But yeah, he makes it really educational yet entertaining. I mean, it's pieces of art that you can have on your wall yet still learn a lot at the same time.
And he's totally obsessed with desmos, which are like these weird. I don't even know how to. You describe it, Eric. I don't even know. They have lots of weird teeth.
Well, let's just say, they're out here along California. I actually have a few pieces obtained on private property at my house. But imagine the cross between, I would say, bear and sea lion, probably.
Yeah.
What is it?
Desmostilion, yeah.
It's like a dinosaur that was like kind of between like the bear on
And
land
you
and
have
the
them?
sea lion in the water. He has some of the
Yeah,
teeth.
I got a few pieces out.
How do you know they're that teeth?
Because
They're
that was
really-
what paleontology told me what it was.
They're really bizarre looking teeth though. Like they don't really look like anything else. It's
They're
pretty
pillars. They're like little
Yeah.
pillars with a little hole in the middle. And they're over at Sharktooth Hill. But this guy's book is pretty cool, talking about some of the animals that existed along the west coast of the United States. And those of you who are kind of into paleo know that we don't have many dinosaurs out here, but a lot of marine mammal stuff out there. And he talked about how Ray talked about how his buddy was obsessed with walruses.
Yes.
And how there were actually a few out here along the our coast a long time ago.
Yeah, so it was pretty fun. Pretty cool.
Whenever we say like there used to be a long time ago, it's like, ugh, we lost a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of sad. I dream of
Yeah.
seeing Stellar sea cow, That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because like when you say a long time ago, we really compress millions of years when we say that. Like there's whole eras of dinosaurs that were not meant to be and like we're never going to exist at the same time as humans. But then there are species that have gone extinct, directly related
Why can't
to
they
humans.
exist at the same time?
'Cause they're just,
Besides the
like,
fact that we'd probably kill them.
well, there's that. But they just adapted in a time that was more favorable to that type of animal. And then by the time the environment had shifted again, the Earth's atmosphere and the continents and everything, and when humans finally came around, it was like those type of animals were not going to survive on that type of, in that current version of the planet.
Yeah.
They weren't ready for Tesla?
No, they were not.
God.
They were not ready for Tesla.
I heard a few talks and like viewpoints that people say like the downfall of like mammoths and sloths and stuff like that was because technology kind of caught up. Hunting tools of early
I was gonna
man.
say, did they hunt mammoth?
Yeah, kind of.
and sloths.
Got
What year
good.
was that?
Yeah,
Dude.
at
Was
least
BC?
at least
Yeah.
10,000
It was
years
definitely
ago.
a BC-er.
Now we're talking electricity. At least 10,000 years.
I was thinking the band AC/DC. You were going all Nikolai Tesla.
Oh,
I was thinking the band.
I was thinking science. Oh, sorry.
That shows where we're at.
I wasn't thinking Back in Black.
Yeah, dude, totally. I went to another fun thing without you guys. 'Cause
Damn it.
I sometimes have.
to our friend's art show.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sammy.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you guys messed up.
Was there snacks at that?
There was snacks and beer at that one.
Oh, dang, I double missed out.
But that was pretty cool. Actually, I didn't realize, I don't know why I didn't realize because I read the thing, but there was a panel and an art show happening. So one of our friends and coworkers, Sammy, had her art on display, and it was a lot of marine artists and science communicators. And so it was pretty fun to listen to the panel. There was one guy who produced and directed it's on Netflix, I think, a documentary called A Fork in the Road. I want to watch it. It's about kind of how awful the food industry is in the United States.
Really? Oh, okay.
And then there was a couple science illustrators, Patrick Webster, who's the social media guy for the Monterey Bay Aquarium, moderated the panel, which is pretty cool. I feel like he does a really good job curating the social media for them.
I saw some of Sammy's pictures on Instagram of her art display there. It looked really good.
Yeah.
Was she selling stuff there?
She did have it available for sale. I don't know if she made any sales there. A lot of people, I think, were mostly just there to kind of
But they were allowed to
mingle.
sell their stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Hopefully she sold some stuff.
And they actually are going to have at open house, they solicited artists to put items up for donation, which is a good opportunity for exposure because there's usually pretty good attendance at open house weekend. So it was pretty awesome to listen to people talk about how the intersection of art and science is luckily in our area is really becoming a bigger and bigger thing. Science communication is kind of like a hot buzzword right now. And that just kind of reinforced, my interest in continuing to do the podcast and share all the information with people in this new way. They actually did make a small shout out to podcasters. They were like, because someone asked a question like, how do you meet people where they're at, And so someone was like, well, you need to be performing on platforms that people are using, not necessarily something that you're versatile in, but you need to go find where the people are. And someone was like, maybe that means podcasting. That's something that scientists and science communicators are not really doing right now. And I was like, well, let me tell you, we have this cool podcast called the Whalenerds Podcast.
www.whalenerds.
You can find us at.
Yeah, so hopefully we pick up a few listeners from that. But it just kind of reinforced my whole reasoning for participating in this project, which has been super fun. And it was cool to hear that there's a lot of like-minded folks, especially in our area. I think we're pretty spoiled in that regard. We have 3 really big marine research institutes and the aquarium and lots of ecotourism. So we're definitely in a happening place.
That's awesome. Where was it? Where was that at?
At Moss Landing Marine Labs.
Was there? That's where the Embari is.
Right next
door,
to it.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, just a little bit before it. Yeah.
Speaking of learning opportunities, aren't they having their open house soon?
They are at the end of April. It's, I think, the 26th and 27th. Let me look.
Yeah, so for those of you who want to get out and just tour that facility, young and old, if you're
Or
a
27,
student or something,
28,
they're
something
having
like
their
that.
open house. It's a pretty neat environment over there. You can check out the different labs, walk in there, and see all the different departments they have. So,
Yeah, they do some good science.
I've always
over
had fun there.
Yeah.
Science.
It's a good time.
All right, you guys want to talk about some whales?
We're whales.
We're whale nerds, so I guess we probably should.
All right, well, let's talk about big dolphins.
Big dolphins.
The biggest?
Was this today?
The big dolphins that are in the news.
Yeah, so they spotted type D killer whales off of New Zealand?
Chile.
Chile.
Cape Horn.
Where did I read New Zealand?
A scientific team made the finding in January about 60 miles off the coast of Cape Horn, Chile, at the very tip of South America, a region with the world's worst weather.
All right, so they did find one in New Zealand 60 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was not alive.
Yeah.
So this is a story that came out in National Geographic today. Yeah, published on March 7th.
Yeah.
Wow, so a mysterious stranding of the elusive whale 60 years ago and now they got photographs of them today.
Yeah, so what happened was 60 years ago, what we as whale nerds know as Type D orca killer whale was found just a body, and they finally publicly released that someone has actually seen them alive and swimming off of Chile, and I think they actually took a biopsy on these, and these Type Ds are pretty amazing. They have a really unique looking rostrum area, head area. Kind of looks really bulbous to me. And what they're really famous for is a very, very, very minute eye patch. It is a little tiny little white sliver.
Dang, I think I like them more than other ones now.
What do you like?
Just because they're like
they're very
outcast
unique.
of the killer whale. Like they're the only ones with the smallest eye patch.
Yeah.
The weirdest looking head.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And for those of us who know, we look at the ecotypes, they all look a little different. And, if they really want to get into it, I mean, we can probably have 9-10 different species if they really wanted to. And you don't have to be a scientist to see the differences. I mean, if you just look at these videos and photos that are going around, Facebook and everywhere right now on social media, it doesn't take anyone just to go, these look different. I mean, even like the ones that we see here all the time. Resonance, transients, we got open patch, closed saddle patch, open saddle patch, pointier dorsal fin, rounded tip, so.
What do they feed on?
Those guys? Good
Does anyone
question.
Know? Do they even know?
I don't know.
Sure with the biopsy.
I feel like they feed on minke whales.
Probably.
Well, let's see.
If I was with that big head, you could ram whatever you want.
Yeah, it looks like they don't really have a good answer. They just talk about the 3 other types, Type A, Type B, and Type C, that are encountered in the Southern Ocean. But yeah, they don't say anything about what they think they feed on.
We actually got a question on Instagram yesterday, and they said, is there 6 ecotypes? Isn't there 10 ecotypes?
I
it's
think
pushing 9 or 10.
Yeah, but then...
Or there's one that they might like split into 2.
Some people speculate there could be as many as 14 or 15. But I think that poster that Uko Gorder illustrated about 5 years ago shows 10.
I want to say 10.
For sure there's more than 6, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So there is more than 6, but there could be more than 10 even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, time will tell. The longer we study these animals and we get opportunities to get biopsies, that'll really be the interesting telling part. Because photo ID and observations is one thing, but, you look at, for the first time in 60 years, scientists have actually laid eyes on this type of animal. There's been some anecdotal, sightings and sometimes photos from people working out on the ocean.
And that little biopsy, you'll be surprised. That's going to
yeah.
tell us a lot. They do, like, isotope stuff. They'll find out that diet that Slater was wondering about, yeah.
And I feel like I say this all the time, but it's still true. Like, that's the coolest thing about, like, marine science. Like, there's still so much room for discovery. There's so much we still don't know.
Yeah.
And we're still going to be uncovering all these interesting truths and mysteries, like, for a long, long time, just because you're studying an animal that spends 75 to 95% of its life underwater. You can't be underwater to follow them around.
Yeah.
And the ocean's a big place. And even from a ship that's really tall, your visibility is not that great once you're looking for animals more than 2 or 3 miles away from you. So, it's pretty easy to have a whale give you the slip, and then what? You lost like 3 weeks worth of searching for one whale. You saw it for 30 seconds, and
yeah. I'm staring at Uko's poster right now, and I'm looking at the beak whales. And it's like, it's hard to believe. Yeah. With all the science we have out there, a lot of these animals are known just from a dead specimen.
Mm-hmm.
How many whales
washed
have
up
you
on the
watched
beach
that you've lost while watching them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, too many to count.
Yeah, it's amazing how they can just disappear.
I've lost fin whales, blue whales, killer whales.
I think I've lost
minke
every
whales.
type of whale.
Probably every kind, yeah.
Pretty much every type of whale. I've lost track of one.
Gray whales can't give me the slip.
Hey, guys, so...
Just wait another month in Monterey Bay, and they'll give you the slip all the time.
I wonder if they can hold their breath all the way from here to Santa Cruz.
No.
No, obviously they can't, but that'd be cool.
So, looking at the poster, some more happy news, especially for buddies down south. They had those false killer whales show up
Yeah,
again.
to Newport.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right by the
someone wants to
beach.
come up and talk about it. We should wait.
Oh, okay. We won't steal their thunder.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
We
Let's
also
wait.
want to hear from one or two someones that we know that just got back from a rad trip in Antarctica. People are starting to come home and post photos on Facebook, and I'm having major FOMO.
I hate them. Yeah, there's some amazing photos. Seen breaching killer whales, penguins pooping. It looks good. Can't wait to talk
Friendly
about
humpbacks. Yeah, it looked like a great trip, and it sounded like the weather was pretty good the whole time too.
it. Look better than
Pretty
here.
lucky. Yeah, I think they got to spend more time on the ocean with nicer sea conditions than we did.
I saw some really crazy videos from Antarctica the last couple weeks that had really bad weather. Though.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Really
Well,
bad weather.
the trip we're talking about, our friends that went with the Cheesemans, they did not cross the Drake's Passage.
Yeah, and they were
on a
crossing the
ship.
Drake Passage.
Yeah, they flew in from Ushuaia, so they didn't have to tolerate that gnarly crossing. But some people did, and I've seen some videos this season of it not being very nice.
So they flew to Antarctica? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I think they take the ship back though to Ushuaia, don't they?
Oh, maybe
I think
they did.
cross
I
on
don't
the way
know.
back
Maybe.
because
That might be
you
true.
cross once, and that's when they say you can have the possibility to see blue whales. And
Interesting.
someone I know did see blue whales. Do you guys want to go? We actually got a lot of responses on the questions on the Instagram story the other day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, let's go through
Okay,
it.
so JRC_productions asked, have you guys ever seen white sharks stalking whales or feeding on a carcass? I've never seen
I
them
have
stalking
not.
anything.
I have personally.
I have. But
yeah.
it wasn't a great white. Oh, he said shark. Yeah, he said white sharks.
You saw blue
I saw a mako with a flying fish. He bit one fin off. And
Oh, jeez.
the mako was literally like 3 inches longer than the fish. So he couldn't
my
eat it, and he didn't know what to do. He was
God.
just like, they were swimming in circles with each other for like a good 35 minutes. We sat there and we
Wow.
left him. Like he never could eat it. It was really weird. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever seen a shark like feeding on something or attacking something live.
Oh, okay. I was
But
just like,
yeah.
you've been with me with some.
I've seen
shark things.
I've
yeah.
seen sharks though eating whale carcass.
I've never seen that.
You haven't seen it?
Mm-mm.
Uh.
Actually,
The only
I thought
time
you
I've
had.
seen a
I
whale
feel like I saw Wally.
dead on the ocean is the gray whale carcasses after the killer whales have fed on them. Otherwise, I've just seen the dead whales on the beach, and I've seen the shark bites, but I've never actually seen them
I don't feel
actively
like I did
feeding.
see sharks. I think I just saw shark bites on
Yeah.
Wally, and they dragged it back out again. But I don't know.
Because I know a few people went over to PB when Wally was kind of floating out there for a while. Yeah, thought you
I
were
mean,
out
I
there.
definitely want to see it, and when there's dead things floating on the ocean, I always ask if we can go look at them because of that.
Depends on your captain. I've been lucky. I've actually
smell
seen.
bad.
Yeah, I've actually seen white shark eating a carcass between San Pedro and Catalina as a kid, and that was pretty cool to see whites and blues there. I've seen. I thought we were with me, Slater, when we saw that blue shark eating those gray whale intestines. You remember that last summer?
I don't think so.
Yeah, saw that. And on also, wow, just like 2 or 3 months ago, I got to see a white shark take out some type of pinniped, just a tiny bit south of Año Nuevo. So yeah, a few of us have been lucky enough to see predations out here or them going after dead stuff. But yeah, as Katlyn said, we looked at that gray whale last year. We saw those little tiny bites on the flukes. Some were blue, some were white. So
Yeah,
It happens
pretty
out there.
much, Pretty much all the carcasses I've encountered, humpbacks and gray whales on the beach, have had some type of shark bite on them. I rented a skiff from Capitola Wharf with Jody Frediani, one of our
oh,
friends.
that's right, yeah.
A couple years ago when the white shark, I think it was like the second summer that the white sharks had
Yeah,
been
I
over
remember
there. And so we went and kind of tootled around just like in idle basically with the sharks, and that was kind of cool. But for the most part, they're just resting over there, so it wasn't like they were like stalking any prey or anything.
But signs of white sharks, yeah, all the time. In fact, every morning, I think all three of us leaving the trips, scanning that wall out there every now and then.
Yeah, there's
You
one
see some
with
messed up sea lions.
There's a one I went out last week, week before. Last time I was out, there was a sea lion with a pretty good sized white shark bite.
Yeah, but for us here in Monterey, we are in area known as the Red Triangle. So a lot of white sharks here. If you drew a line from Point Sur all the way up to Bodega Bay, then out to the Farallones, it creates a big red triangle, and we are a hot spot for white sharks, and I think it's because of our healthy population and rookeries here of pinnipeds. So you got elephant seals, sea lions, harbor seals. So it is a buffet in this area. Any
For
other?
sure.
Good question there. Any more?
I'm reading through them. A lot of them are asking about humpback songs, and I feel like we've talked about that maybe 1 or 2 times.
Episode 10. Didn't we cover that pretty in depth?
Yeah, I think we did. We actually talked even a little bit about the songs, how they change, and even the production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had a cool follow-up actually to episode 10 about migration routes. I know we talked about like how do they learn them? Is it innate, or did their mom teach them? And a cool paper came out from Oregon State University about blue whale migration, and it does seem like it's more based on memory. So there could be some teaching involved with that, but also remembering where you found good food last time and then figuring out how to get back there. So it's not necessarily something they're born with.
Think they got street signs under there? I honestly want to
Traffic
know.
cones.
I honestly want to know though if they like can remember a certain like pinnacle or something down there.
I think they can.
Yeah,
I think
I think
landmarks
so,
are
too.
a big
sure
idea.
like our
Yeah.
humpbacks can because they're coming here year after year, or like the killer whales or something. But like, I mean, they got to have some sort of marking.
Yeah.
They're like, go left here and you're gonna hit Carmel,
Yeah.
or go right.
It's
Whatever.
like the turtles on Finding Nemo when they're in the EAC,
EAC.
and they know where to exit. Like, rip it, roll it, punch it.
It's so funny how you can use that movie for so many references. Some of them
They
are
actually did a pretty good
spot on.
job.
Some of them are like, don't even say it.
Yeah, so we're chipping away at figuring out how do whales know where to go when they migrate. Blue whales are using a lot of memory tools. We don't understand how that works yet, but some of it's just remembering where you found some good food last time.
I can remember where I found good food last time. It wasn't in Monterey.
Whoa.
No offense, Monterey.
No,
but
I mean, yeah, the human food situations.
All right. Well, I do have a question from someone that asked. Actually, it's from a lot of people, so I'm not going to name one name. It's what are your guys' views on captive animals, captive cetaceans, specifically? Do you want to go first, Katlyn?
You want me to go?
Do you want me to go first?
You want me to go?
Anyone can go first.
I'll go. Okay. My thought on the current situation is we know better, so we should do better. I personally don't believe that most of the animals that are currently in captivity are good candidates to be rehabilitated and try to be put back out in the wild. But I do think that we could make their life, for however much longer it's going to be in captivity, a lot more comfortable and a lot more educational and a lot less performance. Some facilities are starting to shift that way, but that's not necessarily true all around the world, especially outside the United States. And any animals that are going to be brought in as future acquisitions should be animals that really couldn't be rehabilitated to the wild. They're going to be an ambassador individual for their species, things like that. We did learn a lot from the captive industry when we first started, but I think we're kind of hitting the saturation point of what more we could learn.
I mean, they've been in there for so many years. They should have learned everything they can learn by now.
Yeah, so, I think it's mostly we need to really think about the welfare of the animals for the end of their days and treat them with the utmost respect as possible.
I think we can all agree that we don't think they should continue being in there in the future. We should stop producing these animals in captivity.
Yeah.
And we have learned a lot from them being in captivity, and them being in captivity has probably inspired a lot of us in the past before we even knew that it wasn't a good thing. But yeah, definitely I'm not standing for captivity. But we've learned a lot, and we should just slowly wean it out as best as we can without, hurting the animals that are still there now.
Yeah. I mean, I have a similar opinion of a lot of animals in captivity, not just cetaceans.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think our opinion is about the same. In fact, I love exactly how Katlyn started out. We know better. We should do better. Yeah, it's 2019. All the years that we've been watching these animals, we know what they need. Me, coming from an aquarium background, I'll tell you what. It changed me for a bit. If you have an animal there, I honestly think these animals, that are in there right now, we should give them the best life possible, and if an animal is going to be taken into any facility, I think it should strictly be a rescue situation, for the animal's own good. But I do think what we have right now, the stock that we have right now, should be given 110%. And we all know that, looking at what happened to Keiko, if we do try to put them back out there, that's it's a process that, in fact, I think we're probably still learning, about, and millions were spent with Keiko. In fact, you gotta give Free Willy props. That movie really opened people's eyes on, what these animals need. But there's pros and cons about it, but yeah, it really opened people's eyes about our large cetaceans.
Well, and it's interesting. So a lot of people also like to use Springer as an example of an animal that was successfully rehabilitated to the wild. But she's a killer whale. She's a resident type, a fish-eating type.
She was so young too.
Yeah,
so her
and
easily influenced, I think.
Yeah,
Wait,
she was.
Is she in San Juan now?
Yes. Is she a northern resident? I think she's a northern resident.
I want to say yes.
Okay, because I feel like I would have heard it if it was a southern resident.
Yeah, so she was a really young whale that probably was still mostly nursing from mom and was observed away from the pod, and so they did take her into captivity for a while, but then were able to successfully rehabilitate her back out into the wild. She found, was it her same family group or a family group? And she has a calf. So she's a good example of there are certain situations where you could put an animal in captivity for a while, make sure that their welfare, their health is good, that they've learned all the skills they need to learn if they're a young animal, and then they can go back out in the wild and be a sociable member of their pod.
Like they do with sea lions, seals, elephant seals.
Yeah.
They do that down south. The Pacific Marine Mammal Center does it all the time.
Yeah, and I feel like bottlenose dolphin, that's been done successfully a few times in Florida as well. But yeah, I don't see the point in really promoting captive breeding anymore.
I think rehabilitating is, not a bad thing, but keeping them captive is a whole different story.
Yeah, so maybe I would advocate for those type of facilities to shift their primary focus to rehabilitation and not necessarily entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. And the people's opinions are so strong on this, but I think we should all think, instead of thinking, about the hate situation, it should be more, let's think about the animals. We all have a general love here. It's the animals that we're concerned about. And I don't think anyone at these marine parks are sitting there going, man, I hate orca. We all are on the same side.
They love them too. Yeah.
But what stock is still out there in all these parks that should be given 110%? And as he said, we know better, so let's do better nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I personally would never, visit a marine mammal park.
I don't think I would anymore either.
I'm definitely not going to support any of the marine mammal parks anymore, but I do think there's some good that has come out of them, so I'm not going to completely hate them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think maybe all three of us as a kid, we went to SeaWorld. We probably went to Marineland.
Have you been to SeaWorld?
No, I never went.
No.
But I didn't grow up in California either. Yeah. So, if I had grown up in the area where it was drivable, I probably would have gone.
And that's the stuff that is literally, to some young kids, that's going to spark their interest in their own opinions,
Yeah. I did see Keiko when I was a kid. He was at the Oregon Coast Aquarium. So there's that.
Yeah. I still remember every moment spent at Marineland, and I still remember that. And that's the stuff that really made me go, oh man, I want to do that.
For me personally, people always ask me, can you please, let everybody know that SeaWorld sucks or this sucks? But for me, I'd rather not even give them the time and then just say, go whale watching. If you want to get inspired and really inspired and see these animals in the wild, go whale watching, because there's seriously nothing better than that.
Especially if you're already in the vicinity of SeaWorld in San Diego. Get on a whale watch boat instead.
Exactly.
That's my 2 cents. It's if you could see them in the wild for the same price or maybe even less money, go see them in the wild.
Way less money.
Yeah.
You can buy one soda at SeaWorld. It costs as much as your whole ticket.
So I currently will try to avoid places with cetaceans or marine mammals, but the people who do end up there, hopefully it does, at least make them care for the animals and let them develop their own, opinions about what should be done. So yeah, it's a sensitive thing, but
it's definitely.
I just want the best for the animals. Let's just say that.
It's definitely a touchy subject. So let's move on.
Yeah, and you don't have to agree with us either. That's just you solicited our opinion, then there you have it.
But I'm glad we all love the animals. Like I said, I don't think there's anyone at any marine park going, man, I hate seals and sea lions. I hate orca. We all love them, so let's try to love them.
Find some common ground.
Yeah.
What else we got on the questions?
Have? What are some ways that you can support research and conservation, especially living far from the ocean?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Good one.
Who wants to go?
Donate money to Slatermore. No, I'm kidding.
Donate money to Whalenerds. No, we don't have active cetacean research going on right now. Well, I think doing your part to raise awareness about how human beings impact the ocean, no matter where they are, is important. So if that means participating in a cleanup of your local waterways or park, or working even in like a recycling program in your local community, or making small daily choices every day to reduce your impact on the planet in general, is a good way to kind of just start living conservation daily. But there's also organizations that if you feel like they're doing good work, you can donate to them.
Try your best to not use plastic as much as you can. I mean, it's so hard because I eat a bag of chips and then there's plastic. So, I mean, I try my hardest to not do it, but I mean, we all do it some way or another. I'm the worst. I've, accidentally bought like I love soda water and sometimes it doesn't come
in a glass bottle.
Like it's weird because Pellegrino, look, I have a glass one here, but like if I'll walk into other places and they only carry plastic ones, and it's like, and obviously I can choose not to buy it, but I'm guilty. I've bought some. So I think trying to cut out single-use plastic as much as you can is definitely a big way to help the marine environment. And just the environment and all.
The Dr. Noren, who spoke about the walruses at ACS last week, she actually had a donation form in the back of the room to directly support her research. So if you get hooked on beluga whales and you find this lab that's studying beluga whales and you have some money that you would like to donate, just talk to the researcher and be like, hey, how can I support your work? And sometimes in-kind donations are even better than money because if you have a piece of equipment that they need or you can facilitate getting that for them and give it to them that way, then the foundations often that facilitate the money donations don't get a cut of it. So say you want to donate to Dr. Noren $1,000, she only gets 500 of it because the foundation of her university takes half the money.
Yeah. There's a few other ways that I think would work too for people who don't live by the ocean. Even if you live by a local river and stuff like that, if you understand the process of watersheds, anything, literally any body of flowing water, stuff that goes in that's going to end up in the ocean, so protecting your local rivers and waterways helps out. Another thing that I actually helped participate in a while ago is kind of like volunteer vacation programs. There's a number of programs out there. I think Earthwatch is one of the major ones where you can pretty much go on a kind of like a working vacation, help out a researcher or a scientist, and at a location that's obviously away from home, so you kind of get a little mini vacation, and you're also helping out this researcher or scientist protect these animals or work on these animals that they're concerned with. Also, I know there's a few. I know down in Mexico there was a few programs where you can actually help out a sea turtle farm, release eggs and take care of the eggs and stuff like that. So there's numerous programs out there that would be willing to, have you help out, and you'll kind of get a little mini vacation out there. So yeah, there's a lot of ways you can help out, even though if you're not directly living by the sea like us.
Yeah, there's also the Whales of Guerrero research group. They do 1 week vacation similar to a lot of the sea turtle programs. So you pay to go down there and you do whale research with the local community and scientists, which is pretty cool.
Yes, that is very cool.
So get creative and I think there's lots of choices we can make every day with our behavior to reduce our impact on the planet, whether that's not eating as much red meat or choosing less plastic or
or any meat.
Reusing.
They're all staring at
kidding.
They're all staring at me.
What? You still eat red meat? Oh.
Next question.
But yeah, just think about how you interact with your environment every day, and maybe choose how to do that more sustainably.
I agree.
One thing I realized is also if you got the time, sometimes even helping out like at obviously most of our listeners are wildlife lovers. Sometimes helping out at a zoo or any facility you feel
like a bird rescue facility.
Wildlife rescues. You'll be helping out animals and probably even help educate people. So if you find a facility that you agree with their viewpoints and stuff like that, that'd be also something that would be beneficial for you, and you'll be helping out educate these folks out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some more questions.
Cool.
How about the CA51s?
What about them? Where have
they
they
didn't
been?
ask any questions. I think they just said the CA51s.
Tell them to hit
awesome.
our hotline bling, man.
Tell them they don't even come to Monterey, and I don't want to be their friends.
Yeah,
I've seen them like one time here since I moved here, and now they just only. I mean, they're known as like
it's
the
your
SoCal
fault.
pod.
All right, my
It's your
computer's
fault.
up, so
They
let me
don't
pull
like
up.
you.
Let me pull up the log right here, and I think I'm gonna have to go back to 2018, unfortunately.
Yeah, we have
I don't know if I've seen
back to
them
2018. It's only 3 months into 2019. Settle down. We
for
haven't
sure.
seen.
I didn't see them in
Ooh,
2018.
I heard a rumor. For those of you that are watching
That they're
Umbrella
coming into
Academy, that there were killer whales in Carmel Bay today. I don't know.
heard they were off Hopkins like a couple days ago. Someone DM'd me, and I was like, "What? What do you mean? Nobody saw them, and they were off Hopkins." Well, you know what? Let me tell you guys something. I'm now officially Team Emma. Emma's pod.
Oh,
What is she, the
switch
140s?
to the 140s.
140.
Yeah. You know what? I'm all about the Emma's pod now. They show better.
She's pretty cool. They're
Just
gray
kidding.
whale assassins, dude.
Yeah, they kill a lot of things, which is awesome. They're active, and they show more than the CA51s. Even though when you do see the 51s, they're pretty friendly.
Okay.
I've had some pretty not friendly encounters with
So-
them too, but
I'm looking at my
you're
log.
the jinx.
I'm looking at my log here. I want to say here in Monterey, for me personally, I want to say it was April.
not since gray whale season.
Yeah, actually no.
You guys come up here and use us for our gray
I
whales.
could have swore they've been
Actually-
here before that, or since that.
Actually, look at my last side here. It might have been May 6th, but yeah, 51s.
I wonder if I was here that day.
Yeah,
Were
they're
humpbacks
here.
in the area? Were they fighting? Were they battling out with
They
humpbacks?
could have been battling it out.
Yeah. So yeah, the question was just what about those 51s? But if you don't know the 51s, it's for individuals that have been known to be pretty active at times, even known to be boat friendly. One of the younger males in there is named Bumper, and if you know Bumper, he's getting big.
He's
got
huge.
He's a sprouter now. He's sprouted up.
Dude, he's like full. His fin's almost full size now.
But he's been known to, as his name says, he has touched boats. I personally got to witness him actually bow ride I think it was a Triumph a few years back, and then
I've had him yell
Comet.
at the boat before for like 8 seconds.
Comet, Orion,
And Star.
and Star. Yeah, so
Donner and Blitzen.
Donner and Blitzen.
So Star's the mom. The two boys, Orion and Bumper, will hang out with her for the rest of her days or their days. And Comet is the little youngest girl. They do have an older sister who has a couple kids of her own, too.
And she split off.
Yeah, and she made her own pod when she had
the
two babies
51As?
of her own. Yes.
They're cool. It's like 3 females in that pod. And there might be a
Yeah,
male.
so
Is
it's
there a male? It's just 3
her.
females.
It's her and her 2 babies, and then there's one whale that we speculate is a female, but some people every once in a while are
Who are we
like,
talking
is
about?
that a sprouting male? The
51A's. The ones that were whacking the birds.
Oh,
40, is
51As?
that 49C that hangs out with her, the 51As?
I don't know much about the 51As because I think this was my first year. Last year was my first year seeing them.
Me too.
They
It was
were
my
around a
first time,
lot.
too.
50B was hanging out with them a lot this year, too. That male, after his
2017,
mom
they
died.
were here. And they were here to stay.
Yeah, after his mom died, he started hanging out with them, and they speculate that maybe they're related.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Killer whales are cool.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
they can be pretty cool. They can also
I
be
cannot wait for April and May.
frustrating.
I hope they come early and stay long. You can stay as long as you want.
You can hang out
You can
anytime.
there's a whole wall of sea lions you guys could have when the gray whales are done. No offense, sea lions are cute and cuddly, but I don't know about cuddly.
They're good killer whale bait.
Yeah.
So yeah, CA-51s for us California whale watchers. Yeah, I've seen them. What's cool is I saw them off of Santa Cruz. I think my first time seeing them off of Santa Cruz Island in 2011 or 12, and Comet was still
That's
yellow.
your first time?
Yeah, Comet was still yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a little baby.
Yeah.
So for those of you that maybe don't know what that means when they're still yellow, so when killer whales are born, they don't have a very thick fat layer, so their blood vessels are up at the surface of their skin, and there's not really a whole lot of insulation there, so you're actually seeing kind of through the eye patch, which is white, kind of like their blood vessels.
Yeah,
and
they're
the
straight
muscle.
out. They're straight out talk that it is like straight out jaundice too. You know, a lot of people were like,
could be.
no, they are mammals, but they don't get it. So yeah,
I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm curious about.
Wait,
that.
they're saying it's not from the...
They don't know.
It could be
It
jaundice
could be,
too,
yeah.
but
I told people that was a fact, you guys.
I mean, as far as we know,
Still science. Don't know.
You know what, guys?
you have to put that caveat on a lot of things
It's a
about
fact
the ocean.
that
As
when
far
they're
as
little,
we know,
it's a fact that when they're young, they are yellowish and
yeah,
orange.
and as they grow and as they gain weight, they seem to become more white.
But
it's a fact that we do not know why.
it's a fact we don't know exactly why yet. Yeah, we don't know why. If it's that blood issue that Katlyn was saying, or some people are straight out saying, "Oh no, it's jaundice."
Yeah, but you can't be jaundiced for like 3 years.
I'm still yellow. Oh wait.
Whoa.
For those who don't know me, that was funny.
Okay.
What other questions do we have from Instagram?
Next question.
How much do we actually know about whale reproduction and birthing? Nothing.
Not a lot.
What whale? Any whale?
No, I mean, they just said whales.
We know some about dolphins.
Yeah. We've seen dolphins give birth. There's videos of it. There's just absolutely no videos of baleen whales giving birth.
Yeah, that Maui video is like the closest thing, and that was this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we talked about that on the
Yeah.
earlier podcast.
And they've kind of figured out gestation, sexual maturity, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
a lot of it's a mystery.
I never thought about that. It's like, how do we know it's 13 months? But we know when they come back to the
Yeah, I mean, for
feeding grounds.
for animals that migrate, you give it a range of 11 to 13 months. Are they getting pregnant on the southbound journey? Are they actually getting pregnant in the breeding grounds? Are they getting pregnant on the northbound journey? We see mating in all three places. And we see, especially gray whales, we see moms giving birth anytime from like south of San Francisco down to Mexico. So,
yeah, what the heck?
is it 12
guys?
months? Is it 11 months?
Not
Is it 13
once,
months?
Anyway, I'm gonna have that drone up one day, and then
I hope so. I hope you get it.
Too.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
I hope anyone, like not just me, like
Somebody-
anyone that flies a
somebody
drone
please
responsibly
just-
over marine mammals, whales in particular, and finds or sees a birth, like hit me up, dude. I'll be your friend.
And then there's been some speculation actually about like some midwifing with killer whales. The residents, the last 2 births, there's been rake marks on the calf, like almost like another whale had helped pull the calf out. We don't really understand what's going on with that, but a newborn calf with rake marks on its back, like in an area that makes sense for it to be helped getting pulled out of the
I
birth
bet
canal.
you that happens. Why wouldn't it? If there's
Yeah.
if it's in a pod like that, I bet someone would.
I mean,
help.
if killer whales have enough finesse with their teeth to skin a salmon or skin a sea lion or like pull the spine out of something, of course they can
What the
gently
heck?
get a
Or,
calf
like,
out of the
only
birth
grab
canal.
the meat off a tiny little herring. Like what the heck?
Yeah. Of course they have the finesse to also help.
Okay. Speaking about the rake marks, I posted an old video of killer whales spinning in a circle with a piece of meat. You guys saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys go to 27, no, I don't know how many seconds, but look at you guys here. I'm gonna pause it right here. Look at these rake marks.
You can
See it
zoom
on the
in.
side?
Yeah.
Look at right here. Boom.
Oh yeah.
He's got like
Do you think
Yeah.
that could even be from a sea lion or
he's got a
something?
big rake mark.
That might not even be from another whale. Could be from something they were eating.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, that's crazy on the side like that. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to seeing rake marks either like on the tail or on the near the dorsal fin, you know.
In the saddle patch a lot. Going back to the CA-51s, one time, not long after they had been sighted in British Columbia, trying to think, I think it was Bumper, had 4 big rake marks through his left eye patch. And then, like, several months later when we sighted him, it actually had healed up and it was white again. But he had these black rake marks through his eye patch. I was like, man, he's looking so gnarly these days. He's got a ripped fin. It's bent. He's got rake marks in his eye patch. But then he healed up and he looked okay after that.
You know that this photo right here. This photo, look at the rake marks.
Oh yeah, there's rake marks down
they bit on both sides and dragged.
Wow.
That's like,
both sides of the dorsal fin.
Indent. Can you guys even hear me? I'm like walking. I walked away up and pointed at my picture that's hanging on the wall. But yeah, I mean,
Lonesome George has huge rake marks in his saddle patch. Next time you see him, or if you go through photos of him, look at his saddle patch.
I think George is a badass, especially with that pec fin. I think he really.
I know he's got a chunk missing out of
he's a
it
fighter.
now.
okay, you guys want to elaborate on that? So there's a photo that went a little crazy on Instagram like
Just
a couple
a
months
little
ago. I brought it
crazy.
back, and I brought this photo back up, and Lonesome George is a orphaned male transient killer whale, and he has this huge chunk out of his left pectoral fin. We don't know what it's from. I mean, I've heard sea lions. I've heard it was. I don't know. It wasn't always there, right? Because they've probably seen him breach before.
I've seen him breach before, and he's not had the chunk. And that's been within the last, I would say within the last 2 years, he's probably had that.
Yeah, seems like his last 2 years.
Yeah, so we don't know what it's from, right? I mean, some people
I
say
have no
maybe like
idea.
an elephant seal bit him on his.
It seems almost too perfect. It's
like
creepy.
a really,
yeah, it's
really
so
crescent
clean.
shaped and very clean.
What like?
Did a shark bite him? I don't know.
We might never know.
Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe a shark just came up and.
Mystery.
Why would a shark hit a killer whale though? Dude, don't hurt them.
I don't know. He hangs out in Big Sur a lot by himself. Maybe he got into some weird stuff.
He's been doing drugs.
He's like got
He's been hanging out.
he got in a white shark gang.
Wait, he doesn't hang out with any crowds.
The Point Sur white shark gang.
You know what's so cool is like we saw that CA 199. You know, Eric down the coast.
Oh yeah, the mini
big
mini
wavy-
George.
Yeah, the big wavy dorsal fin. Were you on the boat?
No, you called me
Oh,
that day because
yeah.
I saw George. And
Oh
then you sent me
yeah,
a picture.
He
I was
he
like,
called both of us.
I was like, wait, I
But
don't
then-
double check your picture. Look
And
at
then
the left patch.
I filmed it with the drone, and what's it called? I was like, wait a second, his pec fin is
Normal.
perfect. So
Yeah.
we knew it wasn't George.
I was like, look back, and you're like, damn it.
yeah, we were just outside of.
But
the
he was almost as big as George, so that's really impressive. That's why I was like, wow, this is a neat whale.
It was like, it's so funny because when I took that photo, we were just like by Point Pinos, kind of, but out of like 3 or 4 miles, 4 miles out probably, and we had lunch feeding humpbacks in clear water, and this humpback had a mouthful, and it was like dancing under the water, like spinning. Like I don't know, 3 of them were there. One was kind of out of the frame, but. I was like stoked on the day. I was like, let's go in. Like, let me look at these pictures. And then JJ's like, I see a killer whale. And I was like, okay.
You're like, don't lie to me, dude.
And then he like just starts going towards it. And then I was like, and then I found it again. Like we lost it. Oh my gosh. I was freaking out. I was like, so I went from like super crazy lunch feeding, clear water, happiness. And then
even better.
Even.
You
crazier.
called me. You were cray.
Yeah.
You were stoked on everything.
Dude, he was huge. Big old. Oh, and that's the one that shot the snot thing out. Yeah, and this I slowed down the video of him exhaling, and he shoots a big old like loogie out. Like I don't know. Excuse me, I don't know what it was.
I don't
but he
know. It
shot
looked
that
like
thing out.
mucus, though. That was for sure.
It went like a good 35 feet.
So to kind of tie this back to our original question about reproduction, here's something we don't really know, especially about transient killer whales. Who are the dads of all these calves? They have a very matrilineal structure. Everything's centered around mom. But, like, are they inbreeding? We kind of think they don't. But, like, the residents, don't they kind of inbreed? Didn't they do genetics on them? And, like, they're a little bit inbred?
How did but by genetics. But don't you think that maybe like K came over to J and L? Because like they know that L.
They found out J1 was technically a L whale. Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff about what's going on.
Yeah,
Even-
so like
even
that's
that
a
pod over
whole
there.
nother level of mystery
Yeah.
of things we don't know. Pretty much all the time, we don't know who the dad is. There's no paternal care in any.
These whales need to go on the
situations.
Maury show.
You are not the father. Yeah, so just adding that level of complication. Mysticetes for sure are very promiscuous. They're trying, like baleen whales are trying to mate with as many partners as they can during migration. Is that true of other? Well, I mean, I'd say common dolphins are pretty promiscuous.
Oh yeah, dolphins are
Well,
gnarly.
so while I was up there with the southern residents, there's a male killer whale named Onyx, which is L87, and he always hangs out with J-Pod. So they said something about him having like a crush on one of the whales over there. So I don't know.
Yeah, so to add more mystery to that whole question about reproduction and birthing and all that, I mean, we have some species worked out gestation period. We've seen some species give birth in the wild or in captivity. But a lot of it's still
a lot of it's a mystery.
uncertain.
No, yeah, as Slater said, no large whale we've seen give birth. I think we'll get close, especially with all the technology.
I think it'll happen sometime soon. And another thing that I think may happen sometime soon is more evidence and recordings from drones of like heat runs and fin whales and blue whales. We don't really see them mating a whole lot. I think actually some of the best footage probably comes out of that Sri Lankan blue whale group.
For blues, yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, we've only heard of heat runs a handful of times off the California coast for blue whales. I don't think it's ever really been well documented for fin whales. So yeah, I mean, I think even those type of things are probably going to be recorded and be breaking news soon.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen both of them go chasing each other, fin whales and blue whales, and neither time I had a drone when I saw it. So hopefully one day.
So yeah, so we don't know the answer to your
don't
question.
know a lot, yeah.
That's all right.
We're learning.
We're always learning.
All right, you guys. Well, there's a few more topics, but I'd like to save them for another episode.
Okay.
Just because okay, guys, we need to tell you something. We're probably going to bring it back down. Actually, I think we're going to bring it back down to one a week, and it's just because we don't want to go through every single topic at once, you know? And once we start getting back into the spring and summer season,
we're gonna have whales to look at.
Yeah, we're gonna have whales to look at and sightings to talk about and encounters and all sorts of cool stuff. So we'll save topics for new things that we see. And yeah, so we're probably gonna just put one out every Monday.
Yeah, we can definitely, as you can see here, cover as many topics as we can just in one recording. So yeah, please keep the questions coming, and we've been getting some pretty good ones, as you can see.
Yep.
Yes, it's been fun answering your questions, and like they said, there's been some really, really good ones lately. So keep sending them our way, and you'll get your whale fix to start the week every Monday.
Yep, and if you guys aren't following us on Instagram for some reason, it's Whalenerds. Follow us there, send us comments and DMs about topics, and hopefully we'll get to those. And I hope you guys all have a fantastic week.
Yes.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.